Hi, I'm Sarah Lord. I'm the chair of the Auditing Standards Board, and I'm also the chief auditor at RSN. And I'm joined today with Sherry Chesler, who's an ASB member, as well as a member at Landmark CPA. So we're here to talk about an exciting, new, valuable resource that the AICPA has put out related to the new quality management standards. And this is called a practice aid, but really it's an interactive resource that will help you go through the implementation process of the new quality management standards. So as we know, quality control, now quality management, is foundational to the work we do for all of our assurance services. Whether it's audits, reviews, compilations, attestation engagements, everything we do is infused with quality and is required to be done in compliance with the quality management standards. And this new free resource is available to help you go through and identify what are my quality risks and what are the responses to those risks, and something that you can do now to implement your quality management system. So you might remember you need to have the system designed and implemented by December 15th, 2025. So Sherry, do you want to talk a little bit more about what's in this practice aid?
So the new quality management standards have 8 components. The old ones had 6 components. One of the key differences is the new risk assessment process. The risk assessment process is meant to be iterative and an integrated approach to developing your quality management system. Under this approach, you are able to develop your system using professional judgment that meets the needs and circumstances of your firm's accounting and auditing practice. So the new standards are new and enhanced. Some of these will make you have to think about things that you hadn't thought about in the past, some key areas, such as maybe your information technology, your intellectual resources, things that maybe had not been considered in the past. You'll now have to consider those. And with all of these new standards and changes in those components, you will probably spend more time thinking about the changes and how you want to develop your standard than you have with any other auditing standard board issue. So one of the things that we have done is develop a new quality management tool. That tool is a starting point for you to develop your quality management standard or quality management system. The idea behind that is that there is a whole library. There's a library of quality risk. There's a library of quality responses that you can match up as needed for your firm's circumstances. There also is some examples of the quality management system. And also it's downloadable and also can be it's interactive so that it's a great tool for us to use.
Yeah. So Sherry, when you're using this tool, so you've downloaded it, you're interacting with it to tailor it to your firm. Mm-hmm. You talked about the risks and responses that are in there. Do you think that means a firm should go through and document that they had every risk that's in the tool and how they've responded? Or do they really bring in only the ones that apply to their specific circumstance?
Right. So when we were developing the tool, we wanted to have a lot of risk for everyone to think about depending on their size, whether a small size or a large size company, and then pick the responses that go with that. There are a lot of risks that may sound the same, but they were developed so that depending, you could tweak it based on your size firm. So no, we do not expect everyone to use all of them.
I guess your personal advice, if you're a firm and you're looking at the system of quality management, do you start with just kind of this resource and ignore everything you've done so far? Or do you really say, hey, we have a system, we have some documentation, let's merge the two together?
So one of the things that we've talked about is we could start with a clean slate, and then you could go in and download the tool, or you could sit down together and talk about what your risks are at your firm, what your responses have been, and then see if those match up with the other ones. And then you can use that as a guide to see if you need to develop other ones that you might not have thought about. So it's really what works for your firm.